Hi, everyone. Welcome back again. This is my second video for today, and today being Thursday, April 9th. So I wanted to do a little talk every day. I was challenging myself actually being in this COVID-19 lockdown. It's not a lockdown. I need to stop saying that. It's not a lockdown. But being home, I wanted to challenge myself to come on every day and not just do your daily readings or, like when I'm streaming our Reiki circles on Friday, I wanted to do something more and just have like more communication with people on my channel and a reach out. And I said, what can I do? Hi, Raju. And I said, well, you're a spiritual teacher in your area. You've been working 11 years as a spiritual teacher. And what do you do best? What has built your practice over the years? And for me, it's been the talks, the little inspirational, motivational talks that I give people. And I'm sorry I'm messing with my hair. You guys will always know I always mess with my hair. If I had all the money in the world, I would have like a on staff hairdresser because I just could never get it right. Yeah. So I wanted to do a talk about spiritual things or lessons that I've learned over the years. And I'm not doing these talks because I feel like I know better than anybody or I have all the answers. I just figure that sometimes when you talk and you share stories, maybe people can glean some insight into their own life or say, oh, wow, Uma went through that. I'm kind of going through that too. And look, she's on the other side of it. So maybe I can get out on the other side of it too. So that's where my heart is. That's where my heart is to help my community, and especially those of you following me on my channel, to just give some insight. So of course, I wanted to start with the topic of love and relationships, because that's the biggest thing, isn't it? It's love and relationships. And if you grew up like me, and as I can see Raju watching me, if you grew up like me and Raju, you grew up in a household with Bollywood movies. Okay. And if you don't know what Bollywood movies are, please look it up. You're missing out in life. You really are. In Bollywood movies, there's always that helpless woman, and there's this big, strong, dashing, gorgeous man who can dance, by the way, and has like a million outfits behind a tree. I don't know why. Every time he comes out from behind a tree, there's a different outfit. Raj is like understanding this. And, even though it sounds funny, I swear to you, this is what I grew up on in my childhood. This is it. But even though it's different movies, different outfits, different music, different dance, everybody's always dancing, the theme is always the same. And the theme is love conquers all. And on a deeper level, a man is not fulfilled until he finds a wife, and a woman is not fulfilled until a man comes and saves her. Yeah. So that was ingrained in me as a child. And guess what? For those of you that haven't grown up in Bollywood movies, you probably also grew up on books like Cinderella, Snow White, Beauty and the Beast. Again, love conquers all. A man is not complete until he has a woman, and a woman needs a man to save her. Hi, Tony. So we've all grown up with these programmings of love and relationships, love and relationships. We need love. Love is all. Love conquers all. In the end, there's love. All there is love. And I think we buy into it. I know I did. That's the whole topic of today's talk, is that I totally bought into it for my whole life. I'm a 42-year-old woman, and I can now admit, after 40 years of existing, that I bought into it. And I spent a lot of my life in love and relationships. And if I wasn't in love and relationships, I was looking for love or relationships. And maybe none of you can identify, because you've all had great lives outside of mine where you're just not chasing the one or looking for the one or needing the one. Maybe you've been better at it than I have, but I wasn't. My first boyfriend was 10 years old. And you know what? It was the sweetest relationship, and we're still friends today. So, Janya, if you're watching this, my little Brazilian first boyfriend, here's to you. With my first relationship, I was riding my bike around the neighborhood and I saw this gorgeous guy. He was Brazilian and he spoke English, but he had a beautiful accent. And he was riding his bike too. And I'll never forget it. I fell in love. I fell in love seeing him. I didn't even know what love was, but I fell in love. I fell in love with this gorgeous guy on his bike. And we would ride together and we'd play together in the park. And then I'll never forget. And it was just feelings I was feeling on the inside, but I didn't know why I felt that way. I never felt that way before. And I remember when it became official, like we were officially boyfriend and girlfriend, was because I went to a party at his house, which is down the street. So I walked over there by myself. My parents let me go. And I had to come home, of course, by 9 o'clock because I was only 10. It was the summertime, so no school was in session. And I had to come home by 9. I couldn't stay later. And Janio offered to walk me back to my house. And I remember we stopped under there was like a light. I'm losing words now. I'm getting caught up in my own memory. There was a lantern post, and it was in front of my house. And he walked me as far as he could and stopped in front of my house. And he held my hand and he kissed me on my cheek. And he said, "Have a good night." And I was in love. From that day forward, I wanted to be Janio's wife because I got kissed on the cheek. And to me, that was a relationship back then, was anytime he held my hand, we never kissed, like the real kiss. That's like taboo. But the fact that he kissed me on my cheek and he held my hand, we were boyfriend and girlfriend. Everybody in the neighborhood knew it. And that was it. That was love until Janio had to leave. He had to go back to Brazil. And my little heart was broken at 10 years old. But it was that rush of energy of having someone interested in you and hold your hand and give you a kiss on the cheek. And then that rush of seeing them every day. And then that rush when they left, nothing could compare. And that rush defined the rest of my life. And I went in and out of relationships. And I think in a way, if I'm to be honest with myself at 40, I think in a way I was more in love with the idea of love than actually being in love. Because I used to say I love you so many times, so quickly to so many people. And my friends used to make fun of me because they would always say, "Oh, is he the one? Because is this your soulmate?" Because every single person, "This is my soulmate. I found my soulmate. This is love." And I look like an idiot now, right? Because clearly 30 relationships later, and many partners more than that later, they're not all my soulmates, but it always felt like that. It felt like that so much. And I would look for that person that could complete me and could fill me because I was only half a person. Remember Bollywood movies, right? And clearly it didn't work out. And in my 20s, I was so obsessed, or I believed to myself that I was obsessed with love. And now, because of my 20s, I was now obsessed with sex. I literally believed in my heart that I was a sex addict in my 20s. I swear to you, I thought I was a sex addict because I couldn't get enough of it. I always wanted it. I could go all night. That sounds crazy. Like now, I'm just thinking I'm tired, just even thinking about that. And, I cheated on boyfriends, of course, in my 20s, because if they weren't up to my level in sex and love and relationships and all that, then you can find somebody else, right? That would be up to your level in that. So I know you guys are having a good time at my expense, aren't you? I didn't expect you guys to come on here today watching me while I do this video. I'm like, of course my people will show up while I do this video. I figured I was safe doing it during the day. I'm like, people are busy. They'll catch it later. Well, here's the funny thing. After my 20s, where I was like obsessed, a sex addict and a love addict and a relationship addict. That's what I really thought. I thought I was codependent. I thought I was needy. I thought I was an addict until I hit my 40s. And, it's really interesting because I don't feel at all that I am an addict or codependent or needy. And that's why I wanted to come on here and share today. Thank you, Raju. I appreciate your comment. Um, I'm aware that many of you that are watching this video are probably in your 20s, your 30s, or even if, no shame, no age shaming here, even if you're still in your 40s and still feel this way, I want to share a different perspective with you because this was something that I learned over the years and in all the classes I took and all the perspective and awareness and consciousness I've gained over the years. See, I wasn't addicted to love. I was distracted by love. I was distracted by love. I was distracted by sex. I was distracted by love. I was distracted by relationships. But it wasn't that somebody was putting the distraction on me. I was purposefully distracting myself. And I was distracting myself because I didn't want to face the truth of who I was, where I was, and where I really should have been. Crazy, right? Yeah. So I spent a lot of time invested in these relationships, a lot of time invested in these partners. Because the truth is, I can honestly and authentically say, in my 20s and 30s, I didn't want to look at myself. I didn't want to look at who I was, what I was, and what I had become. So I allowed myself to be distracted. And for some of you, this may not even ring true because it's not love. But I dare you to ask the question, how have you distracted yourself in your life? It doesn't have to be love. For some of you, like me, it was love, right? Let's be honest. But for some of you, it might be money. You know, that drive to have more money and that need and desire to have more money. That could be a distraction. Or your career, right? You put off love and relationships or anything else because your whole thing is, I got to have this career. So you distract yourself with that goal path of getting that career. For some of you, it could actually even be peace. Isn't that strange? But you distract yourself in finding peace. So you go to all these ashrams and all these retreats and take all these classes. Again, distraction. Yes. Thank you, Tony. Great comment, Raju. Exactly. We, as I've realized over my years, is we're very good at distracting ourselves at looking at what is really there and what we need to look at and what we need to address. You know, for me, when I was in my 20s, I was distracting from my anger at being raped and molested at a very young age, at 8 years old. So I was distracting from it. I didn't want to deal with it. And then when I was in my 20s, I was distracting from all the pain and bitterness I felt because of that I never really got to deal with. And then I also distracted from my own power, my own self-worth and self-reliance, the fact that I could take care of myself by putting this need and this desire in somebody else to take care of me. So I went into one relationship after the other, looking for this person, this magical unicorn person to take care of me. But guess what I would do? The minute they got into a relationship, would I not set up all the obstacles for them to take care of me? Because the truth is, I never really wanted somebody to take care of me. I wanted to take care of myself. So I would make it harder and harder and harder for this person to take care of me because I didn't really want them to win. Because deep down, I knew I'm the person that needs to take care of me and I want to take care of me. A lot of epiphanies. And you know, as I move into, because I still have some years in the motherhood stage, you know, there's maiden, mother, crone, but I'm moving into that crone age. The grays are coming in, the wrinkles are coming in. And I love the crone age. I've waited my whole life to become a crone because when I tried to give advice when I was younger, you know, I was a maiden, I was a mother, what do I know? But now I get to share all this wonderful, beautiful, luscious information that's streaming through me, through my pain and my sorrows and my doubts and my regrets. I get to stream this for you and say, hey, stop distracting yourself. Look at what's there. It's already a masterpiece. Look at what's there and try to enjoy that is there. And the reason why I came up with this topic right now is because we're all in quarantine in some kind of way, even if we're still working. We're like in a spiritual quarantine right now, and we're being forced to look at ourselves and look at our lives. And the biggest thing for me is if I died tomorrow, whether it was from this thing or not, if I died tomorrow, what would I like to leave behind? And for me, I'd like to leave behind lessons I learned. Because I think that's the beauty of community and that's the beauty of life, that we can share our perspective, our stories, our struggles. And then after we share, we can affect someone. If I could do it all over again, I definitely would not have distracted myself as much as I did in all those relationships. I would have still participated in the relationships. I don't have a problem with relationships or love. I have a problem when it becomes a distraction, when you can't stop thinking about that person, or you need that person, or you can't do without that person, right? That's what I have a problem with, because the truth is that takes away our power. That takes away our divinity. That takes away our God-given right to shine. So if I could have done it all over, if I could talk to my 20-year-old self, which for some of you watching this, you are your 20-year-old self. And I'm really doing this for you. Those of you that are in your teens and your 20s, I'm doing this for you. I want you to know it's not worth it. The distraction, it's not worth it. I'm very happy and blessed that I still made something out of my life despite all those distractions. That might be a testament to my strength, right? But of course, my mind goes to how much further could I have been? What else could I have been if I did not distract myself all those years? Could I have been the president of some country? Could I have been an ambassador for the UN? Could I have eradicated hunger from the world? What could I have done if I didn't allow anyone or anything to distract me? And that's what I want to leave with you here today in this Life Lessons video journal. Think of all the ways that you have distracted yourself in life, and then just burn it, let it go. Because there's nothing we can do about it now, but we can do something about the future as we go forward. We can choose to not distract ourselves anymore. I'm very thankful on that note to have found a mate that doesn't distract me. So for those of you that are wondering, can I be in a relationship and not be distracted? Absolutely. But it requires someone who loves you on such a deep level that they want to make sure you're okay and they're okay. And that you can have this big, beautiful life and you don't need to contract or be smaller to experience this big, beautiful life with someone else, that you can actually shine and they're okay with you shining. So my hope is that you find that person. But my hope is also you don't distract yourself looking for that person, that you enjoy this life, this beautiful life as it is. And you enjoy the beauty of you and your story and your unfolding. That's my gift for you today. Heart love. Okay. So thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please do click like on my video to show your support. And if you don't follow me on YouTube, I'd love for you to subscribe to my channel and follow along as I have this beautiful unfolding of my soul, all for all of you to see. Bye, guys.